Oh man, do I have a really exciting video for you today. It's on a very unique product made by Dennis over at chromatic.parts, and that is the Powerbar. It is for SX-70 cameras to use iType film in it. It's mind-blowing. Let's dive into it.
You know the type of guy that was a jock in high school but ended up becoming a huge nerd? You know, someone that's not afraid to make a fool of themselves on the internet. And someone that likes to shoot Polaroid a little too much. Did I say huge nerd? You know, just an ordinary, everyday guy. Well, that's me. I'm just another Chris.
Before we dive into the Powerbar and what it is, I want to explain in case you are brand new to the hobby or craft of instant photography, you may not know what we're even talking about right now. And to start it off, this is an SX-70 camera. It uses SX-70 film. Yeah, it's pretty easy to remember. This is iType film that works in iType cameras. And on the box it says, not for vintage cameras. This is a vintage camera. They won't work. And why is that? When SX-70 cameras first came out, and the reason why they still work even to this day is the fact that they didn't have built-in batteries. They didn't have compartments for batteries to go into. They were stored inside the film pack. So there wasn't any opportunity for corrosion of any kind over time. Every time you put a new film pack in the camera, it had a brand new battery every single time. One less thing to worry about. Not very good for the environment, however. But in 2016, iType film was introduced and they didn't put a battery in the pack of film. Made it a couple dollars cheaper, and the battery was now rechargeable inside their new iType cameras. Other than being cheaper than SX-70 film and even 600 film, the cool thing about iType film is, well, they have tons of cool options as far as frames. Really neat ones. And this is just a couple that I had laying around. SX-70 film gets 0 cool frames. They've never made them, far as I know, none. Yeah, 600 gets a few. And you can use 600 film in SX-70 cameras. You know, you just have to put an ND filter over the pack of film for it to work. Otherwise, your photos are gonna be way overexposed, just like the Now Plus. Well, that is where the Powerbar comes into play. This right here is a little portable, removable, little power solution, basically. It powers via the flash port on your manual SX-70 camera, to where you allow iType inside SX-70 cameras to take full advantage of all of the SX-70's features like SLR capabilities, looking through the glass lens, manually focusing. It's really cool. And this runs on AAA batteries. You pull off the back plate, just held on by magnets, which I was worried about this falling off, but honestly, through my travels, I haven't had any problems with this. Magnets are pretty strong and they stay on, and again, it runs on AAA batteries. And there's a power switch on the side for it to turn on and off. Pretty simple to use, honestly. It's really neat. There is one caveat to this, and that is you do have to send this camera to Dennis to be modified to allow this to work. That's the only downside to this, and you might as well do it anyway because he does phenomenal work. You should have seen this camera before I sent it to him. This thing was in horrendous condition. In fact, probably the only camera on the market that machine gun fired film out of it upon ejection. But he did a full refurbishment of it, and he also converted the camera to shoot 600 film natively and with the Powerbar mod. Now, if you want to keep it as original as possible with the Powerbar mod, you don't actually have to convert the camera to shoot 600 film. Because if you don't know, iType film is 600 film, it's just the battery isn't in the pack of film. It's the same film speed. So you don't actually have to convert it. I know some people don't like doing that. They think it's sacrilegious to do. So you don't actually have to do that for this mod to work. You just will have to use an ND filter over the pack of film to compensate for the different film speed. Speaking of some iType special frames, I have a small stash of Mandalorian film. It is all expired, mind you, and I need to shoot this. So I have a really great idea. Let's take a little trip.
You're most welcome.
the wrong side, and now you will pay.
Not expecting that. I have one job. Push buttons. Push the buttons. I still have a bunch of this film left, and I have another special trip planned in the coming months. So stay tuned for that, because I'm actually gonna be doing a lot more testing with the Powerbar and the Powerbar-s. This will work on SX-70 sonar cameras. No modification required. Plug and play. You will need an ND filter though over the pack of film if your camera isn't already converted to take 600 natively. But this is really cool. More on this later. Stay tuned. I'll be doing a video on this. Just want to let you know this does exist. It's really, really cool. But since this film was expired, I didn't get the best results, unfortunately. As you saw, one of the photos, this didn't even work. And plus the conditions while I was filming, the lighting wasn't great. But since I was only there that day to film this, I had to take what I could get. So yeah, I'm gonna be shooting some more of this in the future with the Powerbar at another special location coming soon. The next thing to remember when you're using this is that you do not have any sort of flash capability when this is plugged in. So you pretty much have to shoot this outside if you want to use it. Now this is version 1. Dennis is already working on a couple of different things. He hasn't told me exactly what he's doing, but knowing him, he's probably working on something cool to allow flash capability. So you never know. Stay tuned for that. One of my biggest worries with this is once you put this on, power it on, and you start shooting, what happens when you close it and take this off? It depowers itself, and I was worried that once you plug this back in and turned it on, that it would eject the photo. Well, it doesn't, actually. It remembers. It's pretty sweet. You don't have to worry about anything like that and accidentally be shooting out a photo by mistake. Just make sure when you first turn it on that you do have it in the open position, and then plug it in, then turn it on, and it'll eject the dark slide, and you're good to go. You can close it, pull this off, and then continue on. It's really cool. Now, the only thing I would love to see with this product would be maybe some sort of carrying case, a little sleeve to put it in. I haven't had any problems, but I have been worried that I'm gonna break it and travel, put it in a pocket and something smacking against the little chip piece that plugs into the camera. I don't know, I haven't had any problems, but nice little sleeve, like a little neoprene something, maybe a little cover cap, I don't know. That would be really cool, neat little touch. We'll see if that happens in the future or not, but that's the only complaint, if you will, that I have with this. But other than that, this thing is rock solid. I really like it and have been digging it. What are your guys' thoughts? If you want to get one of these, be sure to check out the link in the description below. Contact Dennis over at Chromatic Parts. He is the man to talk to about this. And if you want to get your cameras fixed, refurbished, repaired, converted, modded, all that good stuff, he's also the man to go talk to. Highly, highly recommend it. Chromatic Parts is over on Instagram. Reach out to him today. That's all I got for you in this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in your next video. Now, get out there, make some art.